All right, candidate, you prepared to respond to in-basket exercise number 2. Proceed.
Good afternoon. So of the 12 tasks between emails and voicemails that I was given over the last week while I was out on vacation, I've gone through and I have prioritized them of how I'm going to handle them on this day so they all get completed by the end of my shift. So the first one I'm going to do is call back Officer Holman and ensure that Granby PD has responded to the scene. I'm also going to make sure a field supervisor goes out to Granby and completes the proper investigation. The next order of business, I can handle numbers 8 and 9 together, the Homeland Security and New York City bomb devices together. There's a correlation between those two. And at 6 in the morning, my first roll call is at 6:45. So there's importance to that for the safety of the citizens and for our officers. That's going to be my next. The next item I'm going to take care of is the purchase order for the garage door, as I can do that quickly on the email and move on to my next task. My next order of business is going to be calling the booking sergeant and inform him of the chief called me in regards to the matron wearing slippers. Now the voicemail had come from the day before, so I'm going to see if this matron is there now and is wearing slippers at this point in time. Next is an issue that happened on September 2nd of a dispatcher and an officer who appeared to have been in a dating relationship or had a bad breakup, going at it over the radio. I'm going to write back that was from over a week ago. I'm going to see if that's been an investigator, if that's what has happened with that. So I'm going to write back to the dispatch supervisor and see where that's at right now, if there's anything further or if it's already been addressed by another supervisor. Next, I'm going to write back about the missing case list. Now that was an email I received on 9/4, so it's a week ago. I'm going to write back and see if there's any updates to the missing case, if any of those reports have been handed in yet, or if there's anything in addition to that. So I have an up-to-date, real-time snapshot of where we're at, as opposed to information from a week ago. A lot of those reports could have been handed in by now, or could have went through our computer system. And next, I'm going to complete my vacation request. That's due the next day, and I can do it quickly. It's only going to take me a couple minutes to do that, so I want to prioritize that. I'm just going to fit that in and get that completed. Next, these two are similar. I'm going to acknowledge that the bench was broken, and that I'm going to inform my commander that I just got back. I'm going to start my investigation into that. I'm going to request an extension due to the amount of time that I've been out, but I'm not going to expect an extension. I'll make sure that task gets done by the next day. So I'll have that done by the end of the workday tomorrow and get as much done as I can today while still doing my other job function. And then with that, I'm also going to acknowledge the email about the computer damage, and I'm going to forward that to my lieutenant, as that could potentially be serious misconduct if the officer's weapon went off and no one was notified. I have to find out if there was anything else, any other information about this, if someone knows anything about it. That'll be completed after I complete the investigation for the bench. I'm just going to do a quick preliminary on that and make sure I make my proper notifications. And then finally, I'm going to acknowledge the sick time abuse of the officer that was in Las Vegas. That was from a few days before. So I'll forward that up the chain. It's a violation of our social media policy. So there'll be a memo also notifying my lieutenant of that, and I'm going to do all those in that order. And that completes my answer.
Well, it's a social media policy violation for that officer in Vegas.
So they were just wearing their patrolman's hat?
On Facebook.
On Facebook.
In a hot tub. Naked. So you have a female officer showing naked photos of her in a partial HPD uniform. It's an explicit violation of the code of conduct regarding social media usage, right?
Yeah, no, I said that.
Did you?
At the very end, that was the last thing I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't miss that then.
I don't know how in depth I'm supposed to go with it, but I just mentioned it quickly that it was a violation.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
I missed it then. That's good though. That's, now that you've gone through two of those, that's what you can expect should you get an in-basket exercise.
Okay.
All right. You can have time to prepare. You can identify correlations. You're going to delegate and you're going to explain how you take care of stuff.
Now, can I delegate to other sergeants?
No.
No?
You can request help from other sergeants. You can delegate to an officer some tasks,
Yes.
but you have to be prudent which ones you decide to delegate.
And then you explain why you've done that? Is that what they're looking for? Like I have a field supervisor.
You might say, like, I have a 15-year veteran in Teleserve who's a senior officer. He's also an FTO. And so, I might use him to take care of something that are non-supervisory functions, until I get the time to
Right.
get there and finish up whatever he started.
Okay.
For example, let's say, here's a good example. You're supposed to hire overtime. For those, in that previous example, the two detectives had to go extradition, right?
Yes.
But you can assign your teleserve officers to go through the lists, assemble a list of the first 6 or 7 people who are in order of higher preference, and then when you get back, you actually do the call. That's an
Right.
example of utilizing something.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. So how do you feel?
Better than I did yesterday. I definitely need work, but I'll be back tomorrow morning.
Take this with you as well. Just familiarize yourself. I mean, it's probably not going to be the test, but if it is,
Oh, I have a copy right here.
okay.
So I'm good.
If it is, that's good news because you went
Copyright,
over it and
yeah.
other people will not have. Okay. Not to mention, it does help in the sense that you're constantly exposing yourself to having to make decisions and prioritizing things, and the more you do it, the more comfortable you are with the whole process. Right? You already
Right.
seem much more comfortable.
I do.
All
I
right.
feel a lot more comfortable.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
When am I seeing you next?
Tomorrow at 8.
8 o'clock. I'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Josh, how'd it go?
Good.
Take care of any of the stuff we talked about?
Everything except I didn't get the question 29. For some reason,